All right, today's a big day. We have an absolutely awesome guest today. Didn't think he'd be on the show, but when I thought about it, I knew he would be. His name is Ridicklous Nicholas. Is that correct? Did I say that correctly?
Ridicklous.
Ridicklous. More ridiculous.
Ridiculous don't sound, it doesn't flow.
Ridiculous.
It's close enough. I don't care.
So how are you, buddy? It's nice to
Good
talk.
about yourself.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm happy you're on. Thanks for doing it. Today, our topic, we're going to talk about 3 of our favorite wrestlers. I'm going to do it with like their gimmick, like, you know, just their overall personality. So I'm just going to get right into mine and then we'll just go back and forth.
Sure.
So one of my favorite wrestlers of all times is Curt Hennig. I just think the dude was a class act. I know he was a legacy wrestler. His father was Larry the Axe, right?
Absolutely.
And I just felt like he was good quickly. Like he came to WWF, he was doing the Mr. Perfect thing, and I just always loved like the vignettes when he was the perfect guy, and like his overall like cockiness and like the way he carried himself. I've always found him so entertaining. But what do you think of Curt Hennig?
Oh, he carried some great promos, some of the best promos of all time.
Yeah.
And as far as in-ring ability, like second to none.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you watch, some of his best matches were against Bret Hart, who was also a great technical wrestler too.
Sure.
And you can tell who would win a match.
Sure. Yeah, no other. That was great. And he was with Bobby the Brain Heenan, which I thought made him even better when he was with Bobby.
Bobby the Brain would be one of the best managers ever.
Greatest everything.
Yeah.
And to Kurt's credit, he also did color commentary. They knew he was that good that he could carry a show and be a guy that could talk about the match. You know.
You remember him with the Genius? Remember the Genius?
Yeah, that's Lenny Poffo.
Yes.
Yeah.
These two fed up each other so well.
Yes, they did. They did. It's hard to believe that Lenny Poffo is the Macho Man's brother, because they're just two totally different things, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they're both Poffos. Yeah.
Facts, I did not know that one.
Yeah, that is true. So, what about yourself?
Oof. Okay, number 1, I got to go Undertaker, man.
Okay, he's classic. Yeah.
First watched him Survivor Series, I think, what was it, 89, 90 maybe?
Okay.
Came out with Buddy Love.
Buddy Love. Okay. That was Raven, right?
No, that was Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, yeah, Brother Love.
Yes, Brother Love, thank you.
Brother Love.
And over time, he just was able to adapt his character. His promos were awesome with Paul Bearer.
Yeah.
We put on some of the eeriest matches of all time.
Sure.
One of the best matches was Hell in a Cell against Mankind.
Yeah.
It's one of the best, like, most grueling matches of all time, too.
It's a big deal because, like, Mark, when he was in, Mark is the Undertaker for people who don't know. Mark Callan, right?
Mark Calloway. Yeah.
Calloway. I used to see him in the AWA, or was it the NWA? And he was not a big deal. He kind of looked goofy. He had red hair. He wasn't cool, in my opinion. He was kind of not.
He had the build.
Yes, he sure
and
did.
He had wrestling skills, but to try and promote him, it just wasn't sound.
And then when he went to WWE, obviously Vince gave him the gimmick. I don't know if you ever see the interview when Vince calls him. He's like, "Is this the Undertaker?"
Yes. Yes.
And he's like, "Wait a minute."
He went out to dinner and everything, and just talked.
Yes, this is the Undertaker.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you heard that he was going to be like the Eggman or something, maybe. Or
that wasn't no. I did not hear that one.
Oh, I'll put the picture up of it, dude. It's a riot. He was so happy he wasn't the Eggman.
But I mean, you look at his career over time. He was able to adapt to the change of times. Mm-hmm. Even the American Badass came out on a motorcycle. I didn't see that one coming. Comes out to the Kid Rock music and just killed it.
I kind of got away from wrestling, and I'm sure he probably was like, "I'm tired of not talking." Like eventually, you probably want to be a guy, right?
As a fan, though, I'm a little kid on Christmas when this past WrestleMania. WrestleMania to me is not WrestleMania without hearing that gong from the Undertaker. Mm-hmm. It's just not the same thing. And just seeing that nostalgia, him back, even if it's just for one moment, awesome.
Yeah, I must say I don't hate his retirement match, but I don't like who he dropped it to. It's fine. Brock's fine. I get it. He's a guy. He's a main guy. But I don't know. Like I feel like it could have been different. And I don't think it's bad.
If it wasn't for that concussion he received, the match might have gone different. But I think he did talk with Brock behind the scenes, and I know they're actually friends.
Yeah.
And so he didn't care if he dropped it to him.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He wasn't offended in the least.
Sure, Brock's the guy, and I didn't even know Undertaker had a concussion till after he talked about it. I didn't know by watching it.
Sadly, yeah. You never would know.
No, and once your bell gets rung, it's hard. I've had my bell half wrung, and it's not fun.
I've been concussed. It's not fun.
No, it isn't. It isn't. So I'm just going to move on to my next guy, who I think is pretty great. I like Rick Rude. He's a great dude, and a lot of guys in the business grew up with him, like the Berserker and like Hawk and all. They were all from the same high school, I found out, and they said Rick Rude was a beast. He was an arm wrestling champion. He was just a cool dude, going out there with pants with women's faces on it.
It was definitely an original gimmick, that's for sure.
Calling the crowd fat and lazy. I mean, it was just funny, dude. He's like, you fat, lazy.
They bring the ladies in the ring, make out with them in front of
everyone. They move them up.
Yeah.
Oh, and I even like. What'd you say?
Who was his manager?
He had Bobby for a while, but I heard he didn't. He pretty much didn't want Bobby. He felt like he could do it himself.
Oh yeah.
I name feud I know him for is with the Ultimate Warrior. And no, wait. He had somebody's wife on his pants, and I forget who that was.
Probably Miss Elizabeth. I'm guessing.
I think it was Jake Roberts' wife. I think that's who it was.
That's crazy.
Or something like that. And he's just like, your woman's on my pants. And he would just pull his pants off. He was a riot. I don't know. He just entertained me. And I think he's overall pretty awesome. And Kurt Hennig was good friends with him. Those guys they were good friends.
How they never formed a tag teams beyond me.
Oh, that'd have been great.
Yeah,
that'd have been great.
What do they call the Perfect Ladies Men?
Perfect something.
Perfect Ladies Men or something. I don't know. That's cool.
On a side note, what's one of your favorite tag teams?
The Hart Foundation, hands down.
Okay, I like him. I respect. I like Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He was always like, he was always, Well,
the whole Hart family, they got. I don't know. It was a well put together team, well put together family, and even the late Owen Hart, God bless him, was an incredible wrestler and put on great promos too.
I missed the whole Owen Hart thing. For some reason, he never landed on my radar. I know all about him now, but I was out of wrestling, I think, when he really was doing singles, and I heard about when he died. But and I watched his behind the dark side of wrestling too. That was really something. So
his feud with Brett was epic. They really had to put on. They really had how to sell that storyline. Two brothers just hating each other.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
So, who is your number two? Who's your number two guy wrestler you like? It doesn't got to be your favorite or whatever.
Do I like?
Who's gets people stuck when you ask them that question?
AJ Styles. I'm going AJ Styles in that one.
He's newer. Yeah, he's newer.
Yes and no, but he's been around the circuit for a while.
Yeah, he has.
Like John Moxley, he's been in New Japan. He's been, TNA. I think he's been with ECW. I think. Don't quote me on that.
I was shocked because I knew him as the AJ he is now, kind of. He's a cool dude. And then I saw him in TNA, and I was like, oh, shit.
With the short hair and everything. Yeah.
Baby AJ.
Short hair.
I didn't know he was all involved in that. But yeah, he's cool. I think he's pretty legit.
Especially for his age, too. The way he keeps himself fit.
Yeah.
Adapting to the times. Can kill a promo. Can carry a match.
And he's a good dude from what I've seen. He's personally, he's a good man. I watched the thing, he's got kids and all, and he's I don't know, he's just a real he's a real person, He's a good dude.
When wrestling with John Cena at the time, these are two of the biggest guys in professional wrestling, and I wouldn't say AJ Styles carried that match, but it was so well put together that could have went for an hour and you would never know. That's how
they used to do
each other.
They used to go an hour back in the day in wrestling matches. They don't do that anymore, which I think, it's better.
Yeah,
because that was Ric Flair and. God, what were you saying?
They do that once in a while, but that's a rarity.
It's hard anymore because you got so many people you got to get in there.
It's all that storyline too.
Exactly, and that's just basically when they would build up that it would be Ric Flair would do it, Harley Race would do it. They would come to the territories, and it would be like this epic 1 hour brawl. That's how they used to do it. I'm going to get into my number 3 just because I think he's a cool dude, and I know he retired recently.
Yes.
Is the Great Muta, or the Great Muta, I think as he calls himself.
Muta, it's close enough.
Always loved that guy, dude. He came out in NWA, and he was just so different. He'd be like, we always, little thing he'd always do, and he'd spit in your face. And he was a great, great wrestler.
Yes.
And he actually is Japanese, right? So, like, he was crossing over to America, and a lot of Americans were crossing over to Japan. He's one of the rare few back in the 90s. He was in early 80s, too. He was here doing basically Japanese kind of wrestling. So, love that dude. Love his gimmick.
One of his last matches was in AEW.
Right. He had a couple years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome wrestler.
I just think he's a cool dude. I as you notice, I go for guys who are more like, I don't know. They all got like Kurt Hennig, Rick Rude, and Great Muta are some of my favorite personalities. And also Warrior.
The funny part of those 3 is you can't call them underrated either because they were that good.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
They're not the headliners, but they're notable for sure.
You can make an argument though.
Yeah.
I mean, really. You put them in a championship match, they'll carry that match.
Sure.
Yeah.
And who's your third? Who's your third overall? Whatever. You like the guy.
This guy to this day, even with his promos, it's hard not to laugh. Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's a very successful man.
I remember when he first wrestled. I think he was in New Japan for a while, and he was in WCW. And to get he was a great luchador wrestler, but to get his promo over, I'm the man of 1,000 moves. And every commercial they cut, he somehow managed to get to like number 90. And he's like, okay, chokehold, okay, suplex. I'm like, and then he gets to WWE, literally kills it on the microphone, kills it in the ring.
Yeah.
AEW is what, like 50-some years old, and still still can fill a promo and can't make a match.
And I give him a lot of credit because he's not just a wrestler. He's a businessman also. I mean, the man has a whole side project with a band. That's not easy to do. Get a bunch of dudes to cooperate and play music together and travel. And Ozzy, right? They're pretty good.
Ozzy's, they're not bad. Yeah,
they're not bad. I heard
but I heard they're good.
Yeah, the one song I thought was just fine. He can sing.
Oh yeah,
he's good.
Nothing
and then
wrong with his vocals.
AEW, I think he was heavily involved in like the emergence of that whole thing, dude. He was like the first like name guy to kind of be a part of that.
Let's see, it was him, Cody Rhodes, Tony Khan. Who were the tag team? The Young Bucks.
But that is a deep pool of wrestling. We could probably go on forever and ever, but we have to have we like to keep it tight. Do it tight around here. Because you're ridiculous. All right, so, sir, I'm sure we could go back to this topic anytime we want to.
Oh, absolutely.